There are truths in life that only reveal themselves when time has already stolen every chance to make things right. You don't see them when you're laughing together, when messages still come through, when love still feels like a promise. You only see them when the silence starts to echo, when the absence becomes louder than the words ever were. Some lessons wait patiently in the shadows, revealing themselves only when there's no way to turn back. That's when pain shows up, not as a sharp stab, but as a slow ache that grows with every passing day. One of life's cruelest ironies is how a woman often realizes the value of a good man only after he's no longer there to answer her calls, no longer reaching out with his familiar care. It's never an instant awakening. It's a quiet unraveling. At first, there's a flicker of doubt, a whisper asking if she might have been too harsh, too distracted, too sure he'd stay no matter what. Then the longing sets in, curling around her chest, tightening with every memory. Later, regret roots itself deep inside, turning into a heavy weight she carries without words. Eventually, when it's too late, when the man who once stood beside her with unwavering patience has walked away, the pain transforms into something deeper, silence. Not just the silence of no messages or calls, but the silence of an empty space where his presence used to be. The silence of a heart that realizes it took warmth for granted. The silence of knowing that the good mornings, the good nights, the "did you get home safe," are gone forever. And in that silence, she begins to understand what she never did before, what it truly means to lose someone who once gave her everything without asking for anything in return. She begins to feel the emptiness in ways she never expected. The spaces he once filled in her daily life now stretch endlessly, echoing with what used to be. The morning feels quieter, the nights colder. The moments that were once shared with laughter and small conversations now sit heavy in stillness. She looks at the seat beside her and imagines him there, the way he used to listen, the way he used to care even when she barely noticed. The man who stayed through storms, who stood by her when she was at her lowest, who gave her calm when her world was chaos, is gone. He was the kind of man who didn't just love with words, he loved with actions, with patience, with quiet strength. She remembers the times he waited for her to come around, the times he understood her silence without judgment. And now that he's gone, she begins to realize the depth of what she had. It wasn't just a man she lost, it was a presence, a steady heartbeat that grounded her even when she didn't understand it. But while she's trapped in memories, his life keeps moving forward. The same man who once stayed despite being unappreciated now learns to choose peace over pain. He's no longer chasing what drained him. He's no longer begging to be seen. He's rebuilding, healing, rediscovering himself. And when she catches glimpses of him smiling again, perhaps in a photo, perhaps in her mind, something inside her breaks. It isn't just envy. It's fear, cold and sharp, realizing he's learning to live without her. She starts imagining him laughing with someone else, someone who sees what she couldn't. And that thought lingers like a haunting truth, he's gone, and this time, he isn't coming back. Nights become the hardest. She scrolls through old messages, reading every word as if they hold pieces of him she can still touch. The conversations that once felt ordinary now sting with meaning she never noticed before. His texts, once ignored or answered half-heartedly, now feel like poetry from someone who truly cared. She replays their last moments, the last argument, the last silence between them, wondering if she could have said something different, softer, kinder. Regret doesn't hit like a wave, it seeps in slowly, wrapping around her heart until she can't tell where pain ends and memory begins. Every unread message, every unanswered call becomes a ghost she can't escape. She thinks of writing to him, just a simple hi, something small to break the distance. She types, then deletes, afraid that he won't answer, or worse, that he will, but not the way he used to. Her fingers hover over the screen, trembling between pride and longing, between what she feels and what she fears. She opens their old pictures, sees the smile he once had for her, the kind of smile that made her feel chosen, and realizes how rare it was. Now it's gone, and she can't recreate it. She wonders if he still thinks of her or if she's become just another chapter he's learned to close. The silence between them becomes unbearable, yet she can't break it. Because deep down, she knows it isn't just about missing him, it's about knowing she had someone who gave his all and she let him go. The deeper pain comes from the truth that maybe, just maybe, he no longer wants to hear from her. And in that realization, her heart cracks open, knowing the door she once left unattended may never open again. Days pass, and the silence between them begins to weigh heavier than words ever could. She starts to turn her thoughts inward, replaying everything, every careless word, every moment she chose pride over peace. At first, she tries to blame him, to convince herself that maybe he changed, that maybe he stopped caring. But when the anger fades, when the noise in her mind quiets, she sees it clearly, it wasn't him. It was her. The anger she feels now isn't towards him at all, it's towards herself. For every time she dismissed his feelings, for every moment she rolled her eyes when he tried to communicate, for every instance she made him feel like his love wasn't enough. She remembers how many times he tried to reach out, how he spoke gently even when she was cold. He just wanted to be heard, wanted to fix things, wanted to stay. And she, blinded by ego and impatience, kept pushing him away until one day he stopped trying. Now, the memories don't just visit her, they haunt her. Every flashback feels like a mirror, showing her who she was and what she did. She sees the version of herself that was too proud to apologize, too stubborn to admit she was wrong. And that reflection hurts more than any heartbreak could. She starts realizing that love isn't lost in a single argument, it's lost slowly, through neglect, through taking someone for granted, through forgetting to nurture what was once beautiful. She smiles in front of others, laughs at parties, but behind that smile is the hollow truth: she lost something irreplaceable. She let go of a man who would have done anything to stay, and now she carries the quiet punishment of knowing she was the reason he finally walked away. Time has a way of humbling even the proudest hearts. As days stretch into months, maturity finally finds her, arriving not as wisdom but as pain that teaches her what love was truly meant to be. She starts to see things differently now, how calm was never boring, how consistency was never weakness, how honesty was never too much to ask. She remembers the little games she used to play, the silent treatments meant to test him, the drama she created just to feel in control. Back then, she thought love was a battlefield, something to win. But now she understands it was supposed to be a safe place, and he had given her that safety without asking for anything in return. She sees how she mistook his patience for obligation, how she thought his love was guaranteed, as if no matter how she treated him, he would always be there waiting. But the truth came when he finally stopped showing up, when the one who had always chased her simply chose peace instead. Now, when she looks back, she can see the kind of man he really was: gentle, loyal, and strong in ways that went unnoticed. And the more she compares others to him, the more she realizes how rare he truly was. No one listens the way he did, no one holds space the way he could, no one makes her feel the calm that only his presence brought. She starts to understand that she didn't just lose a relationship, she lost an experience, a kind of love that doesn't come around twice. The harsh truth settles deep inside her: she didn't lose him because of a lack of love, she lost him because she hadn't yet learned how to love him right. And now, time won't give her another chance. Eventually, she faces the hardest truth of all, the one she tried to avoid, the one that cuts deeper than any heartbreak. He never needed to change. He was always enough. He wasn't the one who failed, she was the one who didn't see what she had until it was gone. Every memory becomes sacred now. The way he laughed, the softness in his voice when he called her name, the small acts of care she once overlooked, they all return, not as comfort, but as reminders of what she destroyed. The things she used to take for granted now shine in her mind like rare treasures she can never touch again. She realizes that love isn't about finding someone perfect, it's about recognizing the one who stays, the one who chooses you every day, even when it's hard. And he did that. He chose her again and again until he couldn't anymore. Now she lives with the echoes of what used to be. Every familiar place, every song, every quiet night reminds her of him. He has moved on, lighter, freer, his heart no longer carrying the weight of trying to prove his worth. He learned to let go with dignity, to walk away not from love, but from pain. And she knows this: he won't come back. Not because he stopped caring, but because he finally cared enough about himself to stop breaking. The world keeps spinning, but hers stands still, caught in the loop of what-ifs and if-onlys. The truth settles like a scar: when a good man gets tired, he doesn't fight, he doesn't seek revenge. He simply closes the chapter. For him, it's peace. For her, it's a lesson carved into her soul. And for the rest of her life, it's regret she'll never escape.